Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 4's Enuff Podcast with your hosts, AB4 and Tracy. 4's Enuff Podcast. I'm your host, AB, and as you can tell, I'm minus my co-host, Tracy. But only for right now, as she's only running behind and she'll be here any second. Alright, let's get into this. Today, we're going to be going into talking about Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Alright, we've got a trip planned. We got a lot going on. We're going to talk about that. Tracy and I are also going to talk about the fighter and the kids. They got a new set. We're going to compare that to the old set. We're going to talk about Brian Callen. Is he ever going to come back to the show? We're going to get into Kat, talking about her making an OnlyFans account. We got new segments on the show. We're going to do a newlywed segment, 14-year edition, a little game me and Tracy play. Another segment called Talking to Cameo, as I will just sit there and ask questions to people on Cameo, and they'll give us the answers. Also, we got a guest coming in today. That'll be AB5, my son. He and I will be talking some NBA basketball, just basketball overall in general. And he's going to have a little game for me and Tracy to play called Can We Guess? And we got to guess the ratings of the NBA 2K21 players that he asked us about. Should be fun. Let's get into it. Since Tracy isn't quite here yet, she'll be here any second, but since she's not here, we're going to go ahead and do the segment Talking to Cameo, because that's going to be all me. All right, welcome to the segment Talking to Cameo. Today, we're going to talk to former MMA superstar turned bare knuckle fighting championship superstar, the crippler, Chris Leben. How's it going, Chris?
What's up? 4's Enuff Podcast. Crippler, Chris Leben. Hey, what up, guys?
Chris, what is up is there's one question I've been dying to ask you. After all of these years, is there any beef between you and Koscheck still?
Do I still have beef with Josh Koscheck? No, probably not. That's 20 years ago, so you know what? He's doing his thing, man. I'm doing mine. Wouldn't hang out with the guy, but yeah, no beef.
We love watching you fight at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship here at 4's Enuff Podcast. Is there any chance you could fight a Silva at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships?
Would I fight a Silva in BKFC? Absolutely, man. I'd fight anybody with the last name Silva. Anderson, Vandalay, you name it, man. If there was enough money on the line, for sure.
Chris, thank you for taking the time to answering our silly little questions. Please tell the people out there when your next fight is.
Next fight's coming up, February 5th. I'm fighting a guy named Quentin the Hero Henry. And, yeah, man, he's a slugger. You know, his last couple fights he's won by dramatic knockout. Probably going to be my last fight, so I wanted to pick somebody that likes to swing. And that's definitely Quentin. So it's going to be an exciting fight. Paige Van Zam on the card. A bunch of other great fights. February 5th. Make sure you guys tune in.
While we're waiting on Tracy, let's play the newlywed game. 14-year edition. Now it's time for the next segment, the newlywed game, the 14-year edition. can I name Tracy's favorite book, that would probably be the Bible, no doubt. My favorite book will be the only book I've ever read in my whole life. Tuesdays with Maury.
Okay, what is my husband's favorite book? Considering I've only known him to ever read one book, it's probably Tuesdays with Maury. And what's my favorite book? Ooh. I have no idea. Maybe the Bible. I don't know. Probably the Bible. That's what I read the most. If my spouse was an animal, he would be a... I have no earthly idea.
What would you be?
I have no idea. This is not really a question that I have even ever probably thought of.
If your spouse was an animal, what would he or she be? She would be a dog, and I would be a bear. Which spouse typically finishes their meals first? No doubt me.
Okay, which spouse finishes their meal first? 100% A.B. Doughety. All right, name your spouse's favorite restaurant. Well, if we go for fast food, it'll definitely be Bojangles. And if we're going for a restaurant where you can sit in and really eat a good meal, I would go with Texas Roadhouse.
What about yours?
Mine, probably Texas Roadhouse.
All right, if I had to name my spouse's favorite restaurant, her favorite restaurant is Marathon. My favorite restaurant is Cubby's. Which celebrity couple are Tracy and I most alike? I think we'll probably both say Tom Segura and Christina P. It's just who comes to mind.
Which celebrity couple are we most like? I'm going to say Tom and Christina.
All right, we're back, and look here who has joined us.
Finally.
Thank you for coming back. We've already done the Talking to Cameos segment. We've done the Newlywed Game segment. Speaking of the Newlywed Game, most of our stuff was pretty on point. There was a few things that you didn't know what you were talking about.
You didn't know what you were talking about.
You know I love Cubby's.
Yeah, but you have 3 go-tos.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse is a good one.
Yeah. Bojangles for breakfast, Cubby's, or Texas Roadhouse. Those are really your choices.
Yeah, the animal question was kind of stupid, but you didn't even guess. I mean, you gotta always guess.
I have no idea.
I mean, that's wrong unless I did not guess too.
Well, whatever.
And how about the Talking to Cameos segment? with Chris Leben. Do you even know who that is?
Yes, I remember Chris Leben from The Ultimate Fighter.
See, I'm a huge, huge MMA fan.
Very huge.
And kind of that makes her kind of an MMA fan because she gets to know a little bit that she might not even want to know.
Right. I got a lot of information in my head.
Yeah, but Chris was a great fighter. Would just put his head down, take 2 or 3 shots just to give one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a real good fighter. But that was a fun segment.
Yep.
Let's get into talking about Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida.
Ooh.
We got a big trip planned. Her and I, AB5, her mom and dad, we're all going down there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're going to do?
Well, we are going to take, I think it's 7 nights. We're going to arrive on Saturday and stay the entire week and leave on Saturday. We got 5 days worth of passes. And we're going to stay at Hard Rock Hotel, which is a premium hotel. And we're going to go to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure.
Yep. And I've been to Universal Studios, but it's probably been 20 years or more.
I know for a fact I went in like May when I found out I was pregnant with AB. I don't think I've been since then.
No, we didn't go to Universal then. We were at SeaWorld.
We also went to Universal.
Okay, well then I've been before. I've been however many years that was.
Yeah, because there was a couple of rides I couldn't
13.
ride because I was pregnant.
Okay.
Yep.
If you say so.
I know.
Anyway, I remember riding Back to the Future, and that was a long, long time ago.
Yes.
And it's not there anymore because we've been watching YouTube looking for stuff to tell us about Universal Studios. Found a channel called Rick's Flicks. RIXFLIX. I'm not sure if there's another X on that or not, but it's called Rick's Flicks.
Yeah.
If you ever plan going to Universal Studios, check out his YouTube channel. He's got a real soothing voice.
Yes.
He could be a cult leader or something. But I really like the channel.
Yes, he offers a lot of good information. Some more than you may want to know, but he covers a lot of topics.
Yeah. I feel like I've already know where to go when we get there. And,
right.
Yeah. What else do you want to say about Universal?
I'm really excited about going. Of course, we're going to be having to wear masks, but I'm excited that we have 5 days to go, because I know I'm probably going to want to go to some other places. Another nice thing is we're going to have those fast passes where we can skip the line. But
I'll tell you, speaking of masks, I got a new mask in the mail the other day because I got to get ready to mask up. I hardly ever wear a mask. I don't even really go anywhere. I try not to. But I put that mask on and I could barely get it around my big head. It's so tight around my face I couldn't breathe. So I don't think that's one I'll be able to use.
If it was a plastic bag, I would have been worried that you were killing yourself. It was so tight. All right, let's get into one of my favorite YouTube podcasts. Podcast is Fighter and the Kid.
Oh, yeah.
Brendan Schaub, who is an MMA fighter and now is a comedian.
He was.
Okay.
Right.
And then he has other guests, but lately there have been 2 guys up there, Chappelle Lacey, yep. And Malik is the way he pronounces his name. I would say Malik,
Well, it's his name.
but he pronounces it Malik. So
It's his name.
and both of those guys are comedians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. But the first thing I want to talk about, I mean, we've been watching that show forever.
A long time.
And it started with Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen.
Right.
Brian Callen had these accusations against him. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. It seems to be how the way things are going that it's not true. Whether it is or isn't, we don't know.
Right.
But I'll tell you one thing, that's a better show when Brian Callen's on it.
I think he has so many more topics.
Still a fan of the show right now.
Right.
But Brian Callen's it's just a better show with him on it.
Yeah, he's well-rounded, has a lot of information, and...
And I'll tell you this, I've seen the Brian Callen's new podcast with Sam Tripoli, where it's a conspiracy theorist podcast. That's not as good as Fighter and the Kid.
Right.
So even though Brian Callen, I like him better than those guys, I mean, what he's doing sucks to me right now.
Okay, yeah.
But if we could just put him back on Fighter and the Kid, I think that's going to boost that show up a little higher.
Yeah.
And let's say you had to get rid of one of them. Who are you getting rid of? If Brian was to come back and say it wasn't just Brian and Brendan, it's Brian, Brendan, and...
Well, I think I would probably get rid of Malik because I've seen him up there the least. I've seen Chappelle has been up there kind of behind the scenes beside Kat for a long time, so I knew him before he became a main character or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I think those three would make a really good show. What's going to happen? It looks like it's just going to stay the way it is.
Right.
Something to do with some kind of media company doesn't want him there, or some kind of advertising dollars. I don't know what it is.
Who knows? You know, these days it's hard to know what the truth is. You just hear sides of the story and whatever.
But what we do know is they have a new set now on the Fighter and the Kid.
They do. And their old set was red and black, and
this isn't the first time they've changed their set.
I don't remember a set before the red and the black.
Right.
He might, but I don't.
It's a long old show, but the red and black's been around forever. Even when they change the set, it stays red and black.
Yeah.
So everything was usually pretty much the same. And I think I don't like this because just the fact I don't like change. You know?
Oh, no, he
doesn't. The decorations and everything look okay, look fine.
They're cool.
Yeah. But
it's extremely, completely different.
It's crowded. There's already 3 of them. Then usually they got somebody up there with them.
They're kind of sitting like at maybe like a diner table. That's the feel you get, that they're in a diner and you're sitting at a diner's booth.
Yeah. And in case you didn't know, over here is the new set. Over here is the old set.
Okay.
But I like the new set, except I just don't like how it's crowded. Brendan wants to drink half the time, and he's going to end up spilling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that's going on the Fighter and the Kid, you just mentioned her name, Kat.
Yes.
Yeah, they're always joking, hey, sell your feet pictures. And it's just been an ongoing joke for a while, and now she's on OnlyFans showing her feet, and people are paying money for it. And they said right to begin with, she said she had 120 subscribers. That's $10 a month a piece. So I said $1,200.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that number has gone up significantly.
Uh-huh.
Significantly. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
You know, I think Kat is a great person, based off of what I've seen of her on the show. I think she has a decent moral compass, and I think that, you know what, if you want to show some pictures of your feet and get paid for it, go for it. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that has to live with the decisions that you make, and hey, I don't see anything wrong with showing your feet.
It's just so weird. I don't see anything wrong with it either. The weird part is, why are you paying for it?
You know, I think foot fetishes have been around for a very long time.
I'm just wondering, is it anybody's foot, or is it got to be her foot that they want? Because you can get on the internet and find lots of feet, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm sure different people have different foot preferences. Some people probably like them long and skinny feet, and some people probably like short, fat feet. I mean...
How you like mine?
I think you might have to pay me to look at those feet.
My feet will be on Patreon starting tomorrow. $10 a month. I'm just looking for 10 subscribers. But you know, she got into talking about her mother and her father, and they were all in for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, again, it's your feet. You know, she's already someone who is known. She's on podcasts. She's on YouTube. You know, she's got a great personality. She's really down to earth.
Oh.
Why wouldn't you take advantage of that and show some feet off?
Well, Brittany keeps joking. You know, it's gonna lead to more. It's gonna lead to more. You know, she's gonna want to make $20,000 a month. Maybe have to show a little something else for that. I don't know. But the funny thing is, then she said, well, you know what? I have started making a little more money, and now I'm selling my dirty socks. $50 for the pair, I think she said. And, you know, immediately Brendan's like, $100. That's got to be $100. They're going to pay $100. If you're going to take the time to give your socks away, get $100.
I can tell you right now, I could not imagine selling my socks to anybody.
And then they said, well, that might lead to you selling your panties. And she's like, well, you know what? I do have a whole pile of panties that I was just about to throw away. And she was like, I would much rather just get paid for it.
Hey.
And you know,
one man's trash is another man's treasure.
You know, we saw that video on your mom's house was Segura was showing it with that man who he bought those panties.
Yes.
It's disgusting. When AB5's here, the views and the subscriptions go way up. AB, we just played a wonderful game. What was that game called?
Guessing the 2K ratings.
That's right. Can we guess? Let's talk a little basketball. Let's don't talk about that game right now. Let's talk a little basketball. I've been thinking about out in the yard getting a half court, like a real type of basketball goal. What do you think about that?
That would be sick.
It would?
Yeah.
What would you do? I mean, would you play with me?
Yes, if it's like a real, yeah. But like, yeah, I would.
But what if I post you up?
I don't care, I can guard that.
I don't believe it.
Can't post me up, I'm too big for you.
Alright, let's talk some NBA here. The most recent news is the Brooklyn Nets. I nearly called them New Jersey. Now they got a new big three. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and the beard, James Harden. Give me your thoughts on that.
I don't know if it'll be good because Kyrie wants to score, but James Harden, I think, is probably better at scoring, but they both want the ball too much, like to be together.
Exactly. They just want to be together, just want to score the ball and have it in their hand the whole time. It's not going to work like Golden State did because they like to move the ball.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson don't need the ball. He just catches and shoots.
Yeah, that's all they need to do is move the ball and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
KD is fine, I think he was fine.
I'll tell you this, it should be interesting and a fun season to watch the Nets though.
Yeah, I think they'll be good. They might get used to each other.
You know they got one center, one big man, DeAndre Jordan. And
Because
he's getting a little older, and Steve Nash isn't really playing but about half the game. So, do you know who's playing backup center?
Who?
Jeff Green. And what's he, maybe 6'5"?
That's not good.
Yes, I mean, they're a little small. I get Durant's probably their second biggest player.
But he's basically a point guard.
And Spencer Dinwiddie being hurt is not helping them. But they got some chances to make some trades at the deadline.
Yeah.
All right, is anything else going on in the NBA that you can think of?
Curry's carrying his team.
He is, okay. At the beginning of the year, I was starting to wonder if he could still carry a team because they couldn't win a game.
Yeah, but I think he's getting a little bit more used to it. It's like Damian Lillard, but Damian Lillard still has C.J. McCollum on the side. But I think they would still be good if they had Clay. They would be really good to have Clay still.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they just work together good.
Yeah. Well, to end this up, let's talk about the little game we played a little while ago. NBA, Can We Guess? In your opinion, who did the best, me or your mom?
I think you did because y'all didn't get but one. But I think my mom missed like a little bit more off, like a couple.
Like the Lonzo Ball, she was way off.
Yeah, but I think it's because like I think y'all were doing it too high, but I'll do it too high too because I feel like because some of the players haven't done as well as they usually do. Like they're getting used to it slowly.
All right, that's been 4's Enuff Podcast. We're out. Now we will quickly transition over to the game. Can you guess? It's time for the world-renowned segment. Can you guess?
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin. I know Blake Griffin.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, he's gotten older, so.
I know who he is. He's the one that dated a Kardashian one time. Blake Griffin. I'm gonna go 88.
How about Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin, 88.
Blake Griffin, 80.
What?
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram from Kinston, baby. He's good too, and I know he did well. And he played on the Lakers with LeBron, right? Is he still on the Lakers, or has he been?
He's on the Pelicans. He was with the Lonzo Ball trade. So
Okay.
With Zion.
Let's go. He might not get the credit he's due. Maybe. Let's go with 92.
How about Brandon Ingram?
Brandon Ingram will be 94.
Brandon Ingram, 86. Zion Williamson.
Oh, Zion Williamson. Okay. What's wrong? Zion. Ooh. I'm gonna go with a 93.
How about Zion Williamson?
Zion Williamson will be 94.
Zion Williamson, 87. Alright, now you know who this is. Ready? Okay. Lonzo Ball.
Ooh, Lonzo Ball. But he's new. Now, is he on the Lakers? No.
He got traded to the Pelicans.
Yeah. Lonzo Ball. I'm gonna go 94.
How about Lonzo Ball?
Lonzo Ball. He will be an 86.
Lonzo Ball, 77. James Harden.
Oh, James Harden. Beard. James Harden. Isn't he the one that likes to flop a lot, but he's got some good defense and stuff? I think that's who I'm talking about. James Harden with the beard. James Harden's going to be high. I'm going to go with a 95.
How about James Harden?
The beard, James Harden, 98.
James Harden, 95. So this is the 2015-2016 Kevin Love because I couldn't find him because I think he's injured. But it's when LeBron James and Kyrie won the championship.
Yeah, that's when they were like good.
Yeah.
Kevin Love.
White guy.
I know who he is. I know exactly who he is. I'm gonna go with a 92.
How about the 2015 through 16 Kevin Love season?
2015-16 Kevin Love. He was a champion, but he was the third option. So I'm going to say he was a 90.
2015-2016 Kevin Love, 87. Kristaps Porzingis, his teammate.
Yep.
73.
Okay, I know Porzingis. I know that name. He's not going to be as strong because his role is going to be different. So I'm going to go with a 93.
How about Porzingis?
Kristaps Porzingis will be 91.
Kristaps Porzingis, 87.
What teams he play for?
The Dallas Mavericks.
Okay, so I think he might have been Rookie of the Year one year, his first year or something maybe. Mm-hmm. And I know he's a great player. I'm going to go with 97.
How about Luka?
Luka Doncic, NBA 2K21 rating will be 97.
Luka Doncic, Dallas Mavericks, 93. I don't know if you know this one. LeBron James.
Okay. Ugh.
Lakers.
He's got to be a 99 or a 98. Probably 99.
How about LeBron James?
LeBron James, definitely up there. I'm going to say 98.
LeBron James, the Los Angeles Lakers, 97. Anthony Davis, his teammate.
Okay. I know who Anthony Davis is. Oh, I think he's a good player. I'm going to go with the 96.
How about Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis, 94.
Anthony Davis, 94. Kyrie Irving, Brooklyn Nets.
Okay, Brooklyn Nets. Now, he just got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, if I'm not mistaken. And I know Kyrie's got a good history. I'm going to go with probably a 94.
Kyrie.
Kyrie Irving, very good point guard. I would say 93.
Kyrie Irving, 92.